Hi, Big Lee here. I'm going to do another sort of an unboxing because I've already unpackaged these. I've got a couple of related items that came from different sellers, both off of eBay, because what I wanted to do was I want some roads to accompany the buildings, the ruined buildings that I recently put together and I showed off in a video recently. So I have two different types of roads that I bought here. This is from Jarvis. That was about £4, I believe, and that was a little bit more expensive, £9. This is a railroad layout, so it looks like cobbles, and actually I think I quite like this. I'm actually going to cut this at half width to make fairly narrow streets, and then put it on the back of some foam, some EVA foam, like craft foam that kids use. I've used this material before for making flexible scenery, so I got a pack of 10 there. Cost me about £4.50, so very, very cheap. I probably could have got it cheaper if I'd shopped around, but it was the only place I could find it. I found it on eBay, sorry, on Amazon, and I quickly got that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this at half width and stick it onto the craft foam, and then what I should end up with is a flexible road surface, because this is sticky backed, this stuff. I'm not sure that I'm going to use the Jarvis product the way that I thought I was going to do, because it's meant to be more like tarmac roads, and that's not quite what I was after. It looks a little bit different in the photograph, but I'll keep this for another project another time. So that one I'm not going to open at the moment, but we'll quickly have a quick look at this. So this is from Busch, I presume that's how you pronounce it. It's a German company, HO scale, railroad accessory product. I didn't used to buy railroad products, and a few years ago I realised what a great source of potential train items they were. So it's sort of a rubbery material, and it's got peel off and it sticks, so it's very, very thin, so when it goes on top of this rubber it will look, it won't look too thick. And there's a metre, I've got a metre of this, so cut up I'm going to have 2 metres of road, which should be ample, I think, and hopefully I can make it join up with some of the other road stuff I've got. So some leaflets inside, just about other road products that they do. So you can see that different types of road material, so that's interesting because I didn't know they did that, so I'll be having a look. They also do some modern stuff with road markings, but I don't need any of that because I only do World War II. So I'm sure some of these, when I have a little bit closer look, I'll have a look online and see what I can make of those. I might well buy something. I'm like this, I go down the rabbit hole, I find a new seller, a new company, a new product, and it leads to other products. So there's a bit of a, that's all in German, so no good to me. However, let's have a look. Yes, there's English translation in there. Busch foils for roads are characterised by their adhesive strength, apparently it says. So I will be peeling that backing off, sticking it to the craft foam, and when I've done that I'll show you what the finished product looks like. I'm hoping that what I'm going to end up with is some just really simple cobbled roads from my towns, and I think actually a little bit dry brushing to bring out the cobbles a little bit more might look quite nice on these. Have a little experiment with it. It was relatively expensive for what it is, but it's going to do the job. I couldn't find something I did consider buying printed cobbled roads, but I just didn't like the look of them. This does the job. As I say, it's textured, looks a little bit cobbles with a bit of highlighting with some dry brushing. I think this is going to look pretty good. So I'm going to cut it, stick it to the matting, to the foam sheeting, and I'll show you how it looks. So it's important to mention that I used a nice straight steel rule to cut. So I measured the width, half the width of the road, nice straight steel rule, and a very sharp knife. Right, it cut through it really nice. Actually, the foam, the rubbery material on the surface of the sticky back is very thin, but goes on really nice. So if you're applying it to something, and I think you really do need to stick it to something, then it goes on really nice and straight, no bubbling or warping at all. And so you can see the second half here, I've just attached it to the end of the sheet, and I'm just basically going to pull the backing off and just gently rub down the bit of road onto the surface. And the adhesive works really nice. So that's it, nice and straight. There you go. So I'll trim off the excess black foam that you can see around it, and I'll end up with two 1 foot sections basically. So what's that? It's just a quick measure. Yeah, 30 centimeters, just under 12-inch sections of road there. I'm going to do some shorter sections, and I'm going to try and make some junction sections as well, just so I've got enough for a small bit of town. But this is, I'm quite chuffed with this, the way this has gone on. It's gone on nice and smooth, and putting it on the foam backing I think is the best way of doing it, or some other thin backing. I suppose you could put it on card or plastic card or something like that, but this craft foam, it's very flexible, does the job. I've done a lot of my other roads on this sort of foam back material, and I think it's a material that often gets overlooked by wargamers because it's always in the kids craft section, but it's a wonderful material. I've always used it for different types of projects, so definitely worth getting your hands on. It is cheap, like I say. I bought a pack of 10 for, I think it was £4.95, so yeah, 50p a sheet. You can get it slightly cheaper than that if you're prepared to shop around, or if you can find a shop that's selling it, but that's dirt cheap. Really useful product. So yeah, I'm quite chuffed with that road material. So I'm going to continue. I'll make some more stuff up, and when I'm done I'll show you the pictures of all the final sections. So here I've made various sections. So I've got about 1 meter's worth, 2 meters worth rather, because I cut the road section in half to make these narrow roads. Nice long bits, and then I can cut them to the right size or shape as I need for each game. It's one of the advantages of this material, is very easy to cut. I did try to make a curved section, but it's worth noting that this foam or rubber road surface is stretchable, but on a soft material like the foam that I've used to back it on, it does cause a little bit of a twist, and you can see it's turning there. So what we needed to do, or what I really needed to do, is put that, if I'm going to stretch it, put it on a hard basement layer like cardboard or plastic card. So bear that in mind. Like I say, this was just a bit of an experiment. I did try using an ink wash, but the foam just seemed to suck up the ink, so that didn't look very good. And dry brushing the cobbles, to be honest, this is such a light grey that the dry brushing barely showed up, so it really wasn't worth the effort in the end. You get quite a lot of good contrast from this textured surface on these roads, so these will do for the time being, and I'm going to try out a couple of other road materials to make some urban roads or country roads, maybe some cobbled surface. I've got some printable terrain I'm going to give a try out, and I've also bought some textured cobbled sheets which I'm waiting for to delivered. Again, I can cut them to shape, or I can use them just as the footprint for a town and put the buildings directly on top of them. So I'll show you those when they arrive.